right, we're back here at Swell 2024, covering the Ripple conference, diving in a little deeper. And with me right now, I've got Nancy Beaton, who I had to get your title right because you've got a lot of them. And that's President Uphold US and the CRO, Revenue Officer and Chief Marketing Officer for Uphold Global. So great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
First, a little bit about Uphold, because here in the US, though Uphold is used here in the US, it's not one of those top tier exchanges that everybody would know unless you're kind of in the crypto industry. So what are you guys doing to kind of change that? What are some of the things you guys are doing here to kind of let everybody know, hey, we're available?
Yeah, so Uphold is a little different. We're not a typical exchange with a single order book. The way Uphold works is that we have a platform that's connected to 30 different trading venues. And what we do is shop the market so you don't have to.
Right.
You come to us and you want to make an exchange or you want to trade crypto, we go out, get the best price, bring it back to you, and then execute the deal. And we can do that for anything. You can go XRP to Bitcoin, you can go Bitcoin to gold. We have anything to anything technology.
And that was a benefit because it enabled you guys to maintain XRP's listing. I guess technically it's not a listing, but the availability of XRP for XRP users in the United States, which was a big problem as most exchanges did delist it. Was that the reason that you guys were able to keep that going?
Yeah, I think a couple of reasons. One is Uphold is very compliant. We're also very transparent. You can see all of our assets and corresponding liabilities for every token updated every 30 seconds on our website. That's really important for our users, the transparency. We have a rigorous listing process, and when it came to delisting XRP, we consulted with our counsel, and the advice and feedback we were given is that, you know, when a ruling comes down, we'll have to take action.
Right.
Until that time, it's in litigation. So during the litigation process, we maintained XRP, and I would say we have quite a contingent of XRP holders on our platform.
I want to get into some other questions around what you guys are doing. But when you look at it, because fees in general are becoming more interesting to users out there today, whether you're a Coinbase user, a Robinhood user, many people are now really watching the fee structure for trades. How are you guys addressing that?
So we look at our fees every month. We do a comparison competitively in the market of where we stand on various trade sizes, various trades, and various tokens.
Okay.
And we benchmark ourselves against the competition so that we can tell we are not at the highest trade fees. We also are not probably looking to be the cheapest on the trade fees, right? There has to be a balance between the margin of what makes sense for the services we provide our users and what we charge them. So we do compare every single month to ensure that we are right in a good spot,
kind of
that
middle of the pack.
Our users are getting a good value for their spend.
Some of the things that I did not know you guys did was this almost 5%, 4.9% APY right now on cash.
Right.
And you're doing this as an FDIC insured, but you're not a bank. How's that working?
Yeah, the way it works is that we now offer users 4.9% on their USD. So you can bring your USD to our platform and you can earn 4.9%. For the crypto space, it's excellent because what you can do now is you can have your USD ready for the market. You don't have to take it off the platform and try to get interest in a bank, then move it back onto the platform when you want to make a move in the market.
But that's still FDIC insurance?
It is. So the way that it works is we have a partner broker-dealer that we are offering the service through. So once you sign up for Uphold, then you go in and you have
So this is similar to like what Robinhood does. They go out, they do offer that available through their their broker and or bank partners.
That's right. Right. So we have a broker-dealer partner, and then what happens each night is we can take the funds, they go into partner banks, and when they are in those banks, they're FDIC insured up to 2.5 million.
Is there, because you're using like a stacking method there,
yes,
right?
Multiple banks.
Yeah, because obviously with FDIC in the U.S., it's $250,000 per bank account, per ABA routing number. But when you get into the situation of, say, someone that parks, I mean, not everybody can go that direction, but let's say you have over $250,000 parked into an Uphold account. Is there any exposure period that I'm risking before you make your transactions at the end of the night? How does that work?
You would deposit your funds. They're swept every night to be FDIC insured, and there's no lockups, so you can come in and out freely. Unlike competitors, there's no subscription fee, so you don't have to pay a subscription to get the 4.9%, and then you can move your funds in and out as you see fit, or you want to take advantage of the market.
What has been your case with moving crypto in and out? Because if you look at some of the exchanges, for the most part, everybody's fairly open about how much you can move on a daily basis. You know, there's not a lot of limits. However, but if you look at someone like a Robinhood who still has that 5K limit for moving crypto out, moving in, no problem, but if I want to move 5K in Bitcoin to cold storage, anything over that is, I got to wait till tomorrow, you know. So how do you guys deal with that?
So there are limits of what you can move around, and it's really to protect the customer. So we want to make sure that there's not fraud happening or customers are not inadvertently being asked to move out funds. So we'll do things like liveness checks, or we will make sure after a certain threshold that you have a certain threshold so that it can stop if there's constant fraud happening.
Does the customer set that?
No, we set it for the customer, and it can be a difference of, a threshold based upon time, a threshold based upon when did you move the money in, a threshold based upon how much you've moved out. So there's different thresholds we can set, but we do have limits with which you can withdraw just to protect the customer so that there's no inadvertent, takeover of the account.
I'm curious, I'm not an active user of Uphold. I've used it before, I have an account, but I've never tried to move significant amounts. What's my daily limit? I put 50K in Bitcoin in and I want to move 25K out tomorrow, could that happen?
I would have to check.
Okay.
So I think, I think I'll look it up. But the reality is that, when we have a customer, if they're a new customer, if they've just joined, if they've just deposited, there's all these factors that we really want to make sure are checked before.
This is very banky, This has a lot of bank feeling to me. Because that's one of the things I think that crypto users are trying to get away from, is these bank regulatory requirements that most of the banks are dealing with from an AML KYC scenario, and all these rules that the banks put on you for your own money, which is, I think that's a lot of crypto people are, and that's why many people go self-custody. It's why crypto is what it is today. Do you feel like those kinds of limitations are going to thwart the potential growth of crypto in the future?
So I think overall, we are a regulated entity, and we strive to be compliant and get licenses. And with that does come requirements for us to have on our platform. And I think overall, most customers appreciate the fact that we are regulated and compliant and transparent. So I think that trumps a lot of 24-hour inconvenience that people might have to move in and out.
So with that being the case, this is something that we've talked about. We had the Coinbase team on today, security, and the amount of fraud that's starting to seep into the space, typical of anything that has a lot of cash and liquidity in it. What are you guys doing right now from a security standpoint to kind of help thwart those bad actors out there?
Yeah, so security, compliance, fraud, that is our largest team right next to engineering. So we are constantly monitoring all transactions so that we can see any anomalies, see what people are doing, not to see what they're doing, but to see if there's inadvertent activity that is out of the norm of we would see on certain cards or certain accounts. We do have a lot of people, believe it or not, still in this space that will accept a call and transfer funds out.
That is so crazy.
You believe it is, but it does happen.
The phishing attempts right now is
the social phishing attempts, the attempts on hacking your account, they do happen.
Yeah.
And so, we do have to be overly diligent to make sure that our customers are protected.
Yeah, I think many people would look at Uphold as one of the market leaders in bringing new tokens to market before anybody else. How are you guys doing that? What's the process?
Yeah, a lot of times we'll be able to bring new tokens to the US market before others. What we do is we watch the market globally on a regular basis. We're constantly talking to projects. We're constantly out in the market, seeing what's coming, what are the trends, whether it's AI tokens, new meme coin tokens, new layer ones, layer twos.
Right.
So we constantly have a team out there that are sort of future looking at new listings that could potentially be successful for our customers in the US.
Do you think we're going to see pretty much a systematic relisting of XRP soon? What's your opinion on that?
I think we've seen a relisting of XRP in a handful of exchanges out there, and so people can access XRP.
Sure, much easier today.
Much easier today. But I would say when we look at our numbers after the ruling came down and others were able to list, we saw very few leave the platform.
Yeah.
So small percentage, maybe 2-3% max.
I was looking at some of the details of your product roadmap. So bill pay is in there. You've got crypto deposits now, and then also passive income. Talk to me about those three products in your roadmap.
Yeah, I think if you take a step back and you think about what do people want, right? You know, this generation and I think other crypto users are not going to be satisfied with traditional banking, traditional one place to go get something. And so what we're trying to do is take crypto into that space where you can really own and control all your financial assets. Yeah. So things like our high interest USD account, people want to earn on their assets, whether they're digital assets or USD or stablecoins, whatever it might be. We will look at direct deposit into your account. Then you can use those funds to maybe set up a recurring buy so that you can DCA, a little bit of crypto at a time. Because we know this next generation and crypto users want to be able to leverage their digital assets across all these different capabilities.
Yeah, and we're in a bit of a challenge and a battle right now with many banks. You also mentioned not OCT, the service of how that works. I was surprised at that. Explain that a little bit for our audience, because I thought that was a really cool feature.
Yeah, it's great. So, people deposit onto the platform. They want to be able to trade freely. And now we just launched in about 140 countries the ability to withdraw to a Visa debit card. So if you're in a country and your Visa debit card is enabled, you just input it into the Uphold app for withdrawal, and it will tell you instantly if it's enabled.
If it's there.
And you can withdraw funds to your Visa debit card.
And it goes right to the debit card itself. Now, is that available in the U.S.? I guess it depends on the bank.
Yeah, it depends on the card and the bank.
How does Vault work for you guys?
Yeah, so the old saying, right? Not your keys, not your cryptos. And so what we've done is we've married in the two, and now we have Vault. The way it works is you sign up for Vault directly in the Uphold app. It is assisted self-custody. So you, the user, always have two keys. Uphold will have one key that can only sign user-initiated transactions. So if you want to move funds, BTC, XRP, onto our platform to trade, you initiate it, we sign it, you make the execution, you move them back into Vault.
Yeah.
If for any reason Uphold were not to exist, it's bankruptcy remote. So you have two keys. You can at any time access that vault and sweep it into a self-custodial wallet.
Okay.
So it gives you the proximity of trading, but it gives you the safety of bankruptcy remote.
From a security standpoint, is this government proof or entity proof? Meaning, if I put it in a vault, can someone get to it other than me?
Just you. Okay. Now, the other beauty of it, though, is if you are to lose one of your keys, because we can sign a transaction, we can replace that key.
Stablecoins, I know RLUSD, Ripple USD, not available yet.
Correct.
But it's coming. It's most likely going to get approved very quickly. What will that do to the Uphold platform? Will I be able to use Ripple USD on Uphold at some point?
We announced today we're a launch partner. So as soon as it's available, we will have it on our platform. And so you'll be able to use RLUSD as a stablecoin on the platform.
Okay. I don't know that a lot of people, we talked to a lot of institutional enterprise, but I don't know that Uphold had ever been used in that language. I mean, we hadn't thought about it before. Is that a big business for you guys?
Yeah, so we are launching, or we have launched, an enterprise business, which we've always had, but it's probably been much smaller than our retail side.
Okay.
An institutional business, and we have announced that we're starting to white label our platform. So basically what it means is the platform that underpins the wallet that most people are used to seeing on their phone, it's pretty spectacular, right? It has superior liquidity. We're connected to the trading venues. It's compliant. It's fully licensed. So what we can do is we can take that platform and offer it for a B2B type of play. We can offer it to institutions for an OTC desk, which we do. And then the white label will allow you, let's say you have your own bank, and you want to start to offer crypto, you can just plug us into your app, and now they have instant access to crypto.
When you look at just tokenized assets in general, real world assets, Securitized based here in Miami, their partnership with BlackRock, what we're now starting to see with Avalanche and their RWA projects, how does that play into your strategy and your roadmap going forward?
Yeah, we're looking at real world assets. I mean, they are clearly going to be a category that's important in the space. So what we're doing is we're looking around of partnerships, of when is it going to be a thing in the space? How do we want to tackle that from our perspective? Because it is very different, right? It is a security asset. And so that is different than what we offer today, which is not.
Nancy, it's been great having you on.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about Uphold today for sure.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys are tuned in right now and you're not subscribed, make sure and do that. Just, of course, hit the subscribe button right down below, and we'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.